I decided to spend a full month in Roblox's Tower Defense Simulator, starting from an all-new, freshly created account, and playing daily to see just how much progress I can make in 31 days. I had some specific goals I wanted to accomplish too. I wanted to beat all 8 game modes, I wanted to unlock every coin obtainable shop tower, I wanted to unlock one of the strongest towers in the Accelerator, I wanted to meet some funny people, and I wanted to get some cool skins, including my own propeller skin. Could I do all that? Would I run into some roadblocks? Is this the hook in the start of the video for viewer retention? Let's find out! First of all, I had to make an account. Obviously, I wasn't going to use propellers because I already have everything. So I went to the Roblox account creation page and I chose the name Probably. After customizing my character a bit, I joined the game for the first time. I claimed my first daily reward, and then I immediately received a prompt for the tutorial. When I attempted this challenge last year for a week-long time span, this wasn't in the game yet. Even though I already knew all the stuff this would teach me, the reward made playing through the tutorial worthwhile. So I joined the match. In the tutorial, you get some temporary towers to demonstrate the game's mechanics. You just have to follow what the commander says, and you'll win. I got my rental minigunner down to take out the dummy boss, and I triumphed for the first time on the account. I earned 600 coins here, although the game forced me to spend 250 of them on the Demo Man Tower, which I wasn't too mad about as it's actually pretty solid. I wanted to get a bit more done for this first day, so I hopped in a match with some other intermediate level players. Out of the 4 modes here, whose icons didn't load, that makes this edit a bit more annoying to do, we picked Molten. This is the easiest game mode, easy as a lie. It was kind of a weird feeling playing a match like this, without my gazillion DPS engineers and golden towers, but it was kinda nice, it was relaxing. My teammate Anthony got some military bases down to spawn in Humvees, while I mainly just focused on my demo men. My teammate Unknown was spitting facts. I am pro. How much of a pro? Like level 50. Pro. Whoa. I mean, I don't know guys, I think this guy was low-key kinda pro. He brought the Commander and DJ, which are 2 of the most OP towers in the game, since, combined, they give all nearby units fire rate, range, and cost efficiency buffs. So yeah, even though I was a complete noob, my team had good enough towers to carry me to the final wave, 40, where I encountered my first boss of the run, the Molten boss. As with all the other endgame fights, he has some abilities which can stun your towers or summon more zombies. But I mean, this dude is literally 20 times weaker than the strongest bosses the game has to offer. So in the end, we were actually able to take him down pretty handily. I earned a badge and 500 coins, which brought me up to 900 total. I also hit level 3. This is where I decided to end the first day. Next, I wanted to get the Milton Tower, and after claiming my daily login reward, I was only 500 coins short. So I queued up into online matchmaking. I ended up in a Molten match on Lay-By, which kind of worried me because this is a pretty hard map, and we did not have a lot of good towers between us all. But hey, power of friendship and all that. You guys like TDS? Yes. I think we really connected there. By just spamming towers, we made wave 40. But due to the map disadvantage, the Molten boss's abilities hurt us a lot more here. I did as much as I could by selling and moving towers, but he spammed abilities across the path and killed us. Still, that gave me 400 coins, so I decided to play one more Molten match, solo this time, and just go as far as I could to get those last 100. I also wanted to try to complete a quest here. I haven't mentioned these yet. Basically, you can activate quests in the lobby. They will offer a certain challenge like beat a specific map, deal a certain amount of damage, something like that. If you complete them, you can earn a little extra EXP or currency, and throughout the month I tried to get as many of these completed as I could. Specifically here, I wanted to do this objective. So in that solo Molten match, I got a demo man down and just let him cook. Surprisingly, I actually ended up making it all the way to the final boss. I crossed that 30,000 damage threshold along the way, and in my decent progress in the other, week-long quest, to deal 1,000,000 damage I had started. I didn't have the firepower to win the match, but those 400 coins were all I needed. After claiming the quest reward, I ended the day by buying the militant. I just played one match this day, but it was on a bit of a harder mode, Fallen. I was still too low level to be able to vote for it, but luckily, I had teammates with good towers to carry me, and we picked a good map. I used my new militant for early defense, it did pretty well, and I used it for late defense too, since I didn't have much else. With my teammates' military bases, minigunners, and even the hardcore tower Necromancer, we reached the ultimate wave and boss, the Fallen King, one of the most iconic zombies in the game. They even made a plushie out of this dude. Still, my teammates' towers were just too good. He made it about a third of the way along the path before perishing, and and I earned a hefty coin payout along with a badge. Joining back to the lobby, I also got the badge for reaching level 10, although the EXP bar was slightly bugged and still thought I was at 8. Regardless, that's some good progress. TDS actually dropped an update on day 4. In retrospect, I chose a pretty nuts time to do this challenge. A ton of updates ended up coming out over the month. This one in particular had a couple of features, such as a literal USD based TDS subscription service which was funny. The UI changed slightly, a few other things were updated, but for this video the only thing that really matters here is that this update introduced power-ups. Basically, it's like in BTD 6. You can buy some limited items which you can use to give yourself an advantage in the game, and some of these ended up having a pretty massive impact on later runs. I didn't nab any of them until the next day though. All I did here was try for a fallen W. Unfortunately, this run didn't go too well. We lost on wave 31. The first run I played on this day was on a different mode, Intermediate. Intermediate is weird. It's a very recent addition to the game, so the zombies are all really well made, but the gameplay is very spam heavy. They really just throw the whole kitchen sink at you. And with my team and I not having great crowd control towers, we lost on wave 20. I went back to Molten for the next match. This dude Operator was very talkative. Even at this early stage, Molten mode had already become pretty much a guaranteed win, so I was easily able to get that triumph. Before I ended the day though, I want to stock up on some power-ups. You get these from crates, which you can either buy or randomly earn from winning matches. There's 3 tiers of the crates. Obviously, the more expensive ones give you better odds for the good power-ups. The very best power-up is the nuke, which you only have a tiny chance of getting with a low grade crate. And I wanted it. I bought 1 crate to open and I only got 2 commons and 2 uncommons. I played for less than 10 minutes on day 6, but I'd say I had a very good reason, okay? The game looked like this. Everything was completely unloaded and broken. I couldn't even open the Roblox menu. When I pressed escape, nothing happened. It was like being in TDS purgatory. My teammates got a few towers down. I couldn't really tell you what they were. And after that, they all left. So all I could do was sit and wait to lose. Afterwards, there was no results screen or anything, but going back to the lobby, I did actually earn 44 coins. So in summary, a very productive day. This officially marked a full week of the challenge, and I had not made nearly as much progress as I had hoped. I ended up having to grind extremely hard later on to make up for my lackadaisical attitude early. I was actually able to buy farm here thanks to the coins from my daily login reward, which by the way, yeah, says day 6 rather than 7, because daily login rewards are slightly wonky. I wrote a whole app paragraph going through why, but I doubt anyone really cares. Basically, just know that my dailies ended up being a little off, so it wasn't until where I got my day 7 reward, a premium crate. I elected to save it for later when I had some better towers. At this point I also realized, oh yeah, I still haven't finished that quest I started to deal 1,000,000 damage, and it's going to auto fail in 3.5 hours. The coins and EXP weren't too significant, but I really wanted that extra premium crate. So I locked in. I played several solo Molten games to grind out the last of the damage, and my new loadout was Peak. I don't think I have to explain how goated farm is, it just allows you to make a ton more money, it's insane. After about an hour's worth of playtime, I was able to knock out 3 back-to-back Molten wins. Or back-to-back-to-back, I guess. And I finished the quest with time to spare. All this brought me up to 1,500 coins, and pushed me over level 20. I got a lot accomplished this day, is what I'm probably saying right now in some alternate universe. In this timeline though, I did nothing at all. And to be honest, all I did was briefly join the game to keep my login streak alive. The real reason was because I was locked in heavy editing a really long video that I felt like I need to get out ASAP because I hadn't posted in so long. But for the storytelling here, I'll say my reason was to formulate a game plan, and to wait for the next day to dive into the massive update that had just come out. Yeah, TDS got another update. One of the biggest features was a PvP mode. Kind of. It was a very early testing version meant for public testing. I definitely did not have good enough towers to flourish in this mode, but since it was limited time, I said, I'll try it. For the first match, my opponent had the extremely expensive hardcore tower Engineer, I had Militant, but I decided to use a really cheesy strat. In this mode, you can access a zombie panel. You can use this to pay a bit of money to send bonus zombies to your opponent's side, and in this early version of the mode, sending was ridiculously OP. You could just spam a gazillion normals on the first wave, which is exactly what I did. I trash talked a little bit, and I actually ended up beating him with the sends. There were no rewards at all here since it was just a test mode, but a moral victory is worth a lot. I decided to try one more match, and I used the exact same plan. Loger caught on and tried doing the same thing back, but I'd gotten enough of a head start that my zombies killed him before I lost. Is that how you win? Yes. So that was pretty fun, but it didn't help my account's stats in any way. And having already rested through several days, I needed coins badly. I decided to finish a quest I had to beat Molten 3 times. I tried experimenting with a triple lane map, which I don't know, it just sucked, okay? It wasn't good. Following that, I returned to the traditional maps, where I was able to speed through 3 quick wins. This left me just shy of 4,000 coins, and I also earned some power upgrades from those wins. Opening them, I got... not a nuke. I didn't get a nuke. In the lobby, I encountered a distinguished looking gentleman named Level 100 Gyat. I had to take a screenshot to commemorate the moment. Otherwise though, pretty slow day. I played and won a single Molten match, which brought me up to level 25, and left me with just under 5,000 coins. 2 weeks in, and I was still rocking this basic loadout. I knew I would get a free tower at level 30, but before that I wanted to lock in and grind hard for the minigunner, the second strongest shop tower and a good DPS option. I was 3,400 coins short though, so I got to playing. I won a solo Molten match, a quad up Molten match, a quad up Fallen match, and I quit there. I picked up the slack here and grinded out 3 quick Molten mode wins, alongside some quest rewards that finally gave me enough coins to buy the minigunner. This was a massive step up for my loadout. It's not exactly OP, but mini is a very solid beginner DPS option. I also got my second day 7 login reward here, bringing my premium crate total up to 3, and for... I meant to open the crates to try getting a minigunner skin, but I kinda forgore skull emoji, and my internet was suffering, so... This is where I actually opened the crates that I had saved, but not until the end of the day. On day 17, TS released a mini event, the Roblox Classic trademark collaboration. They made a little story mode with 5 retro themed stages. The lore is basically, the commander is kidnapped by this 1x1x1x guy and you the player have to save him. Now personally I'm thinking, do we really need to save this guy? Maybe we can let him have him. Overall the event was just... okay, there are no special zombies or unique bosses, and the difficulty was average. The game does give you pre-made loadouts, so it's cool to get some hands-on experience with the strongest towers in the game, but yeah. Each stage awarded me 200 coins, so I finished with a net of 1,000, and I also got a skin and a name tag. The skin is sick. It's the Guest Scout, which has a little spawning animation, lowered FPS, and it says a Roblox quick chat when you upgrade it. But it's for the scout. I was glad to have it, but I never once ended up using it in-game. The name tag was cool. I ended up rocking it for the rest of the challenge. Most importantly though, the EXP from the event brought me to over level 30, and I unlocked my first level-based tower, the Crook Boss. Shout out Corso. This dude is solid. Nothing crazy, but he does some damage, and some of his path-going units called Goons, who do bonus damage and look cool. Finally, to end off the day, I went to open my premium crates. I meant to live record my reaction, but I accidentally muted my mic, so I'll reenact it here. First crate. Wow, that is very average. Second crate. Wow, that is really what I want. I quite like this. It kinda looks like an Among Us, no? Oh come on, I don't need 2 minigunner skins. The Lumberjack and Space Elite were whatever, but the Hazmat skin is honestly based. I was glad to have it. I also opened 2 basic crates I picked up for my daily login rewards, and I just got 2 boring recolor skins. Finally, I had 3 consumable crates, and I decided to once again try for that nuke. Alright, but this one has slightly better odds. This is where I'm gonna get that nuke, for sure. Airstrike. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm him. I'm simply Himothy. I called it too. That's very nice. I'm not sure where I'll use that, but I know that's gonna come in very handy at some point in the future. That was pretty hype. I didn't think I'd actually get the nuke. I was feeling great at the end of the day. So naturally, I didn't play it all in day 18. I just got my daily. Whoops, not sorry. This is the day I decided to hone in on the special modes. From easiest to hardest, there's Pizza Party, Badlands, and Polluted Wastelands. I would need to beat them all eventually in order to accomplish my goals, but I thought Pizza Party was the only one that I had a chance at currently. My loadout was actually the best among my team, which was a bad sign, but we did well enough for a while. The abnormal boss is replaced by the Puppet Scout boss here. All the mode's special zombies are twisted animatronic versions of our heroic towers. It's FNAF mode basically, but I say that every time I talk about Pizza Party. They have more health than normal, but my minigunner was still able to chew through the scout in wave 10, and then the shotgunner puppet on wave 22, and even the commander puppet on wave 30, but Hank from Breaking Bad, wave 31. There was a big clump of shotgunner puppets, and my team and I just didn't have the DPS. We lost. Still, I thought that was a decent result considering our towers, and I had a lot of hope for the next attempt, which was about to be crushed. In my second run, one of my teammates was named Toph? Avatar reference? No. I just watched Avatar for the first time this year and I loved it. Actually such a banger of a show. Unfortunately, one of our other teammates left the match in wave 0, so even though we had much better towers here, the lack of a fourth left us at almost even strength with the prior run. Despite my teammates desperately using power-ups, we lost in wave 31. Again. And I'm sure it's fine, right? Nothing's wrong. I just need a full team for the next run, and it'll work this time, surely. And I did get a full team. I had a very intellectual conversation with my fellow players here. Are you the real Tubers 93? Yes. Balls. Thanks for that. I thought for sure this was the run. You know, we had some crazy team chemistry as demonstrated, but things really started to deteriorate in the mid-game. One of my teammates spent 3 long, hard, toilsome years farming to the max, only to spend all that money on stupid trappers. This tower is mega lame. I kind of echo Dream Introvert's reaction here. Pizza Party also has these balloon boy enemies, who fly above normal towers and can only be hit by units with flying detection. I didn't mention them before because in the prior runs they weren't much of an issue, but in this attempt we didn't have much aerial power at all. I had to clutch up with some backup militants, which just barely kept us alive, but with more balloons leaking, and shotgunners and the commander puppet, we ended up losing on wave 31, for my 3rd run in a row. My 4th attempt was another trio match, but both my teammates had Accelerator and some other really good towers, so I thought there was a chance. I was wrong, we lost. We got a bit further, and the coin payout here was surprisingly high. All these runs paid out really well, but I was still confused by the losses. I felt like Pizza Party shouldn't be this challenging. The zombies shouldn't be that strong. That guy wasn't really Tubers 93. We should have won that round. Was I really just that bad at the game? Yeah, I am. Please subscribe and leave a like. This video took insanely long to make. I would really appreciate that. There was also something else going on with the game though. This is where I discovered that TDS was broken. The classic event update had inflicted the game with a ton of glitches. The most notable one here was that modifiers, which give special modes their unique characteristics and challenge, were apparently being applied twice. On Pizza Party, the only one this really matters for is mutation. This gives zombies extra shield health per wave, making them get bulkier and bulkier. According to the wiki, it's normally a 10% increase per wave, but with this glitch applying modifiers twice, that became a 20% increase, which is a pretty massive difference. That's why I was struggling so hard with those runs. The game was much harder than it was supposed to be. With that in mind, I decided to wait out this day, claim my daily reward, and hope that the issue was patched for... My plans changed a bit though when I saw a video from my friend Corso. His video detailed a very simple coin grinding strategy which took full advantage of a glitch. I had to buy Shotgunner for it, which was pretty steep at 2500 coins, but that was the only tower required, other than farm. Since the modifier was getting applied twice, the reward multiplier they provided was also getting applied twice, and the strategy from Corso's video took full advantage of that. Basically, to do the strat, you just had to go into Pizza Party, use level 0 shotgunners for early defense, farm a bit, spam level 2 shotgunners, and sell everything to lose on wave 20. Doing this would give you 600 coins for only 5 minutes of gameplay. My first run was really slow. It did take me several attempts to get this strategy memorized, but after a bit I had it fully down. I just idly grinded while watching YouTube on my phone. I knew this method would get patched probably very soon, and I wanted to take full advantage of it to try to rack up 12,000 coins, the amount required for the most expensive coin tower, Ranger. So I grinded. I actually encountered some celebrities when I rejoined the lobby in between runs. I met a cameraman from Skibidi Toilet, I met Luffy from One Piece, I met someone with the Roblox verified checkmark, who had 2 of them for some reason. They helped develop Skibidi Toilet games apparently. This coin grinding method was not as efficient as it could have been, because my internet sucked and it took several minutes to load the lobby each time I rejoined, but I still cracked 10,000 coins in about 2 hours. However, this was when disaster struck. When I lost on my 14th run, I only got 356 coins rather than 600. The glitch got hot patched, only hours after Corso put out his video. To get the little bit more I needed, I decided to just play out 3 more runs, even with the lower reward payout. After leaving that last match, I had just enough to purchase the Ranger. This is a very powerful cliff tower that can deal heavy damage. It also has massive range, full stun immunity, and an ability to buff nearby towers' range. Overall, it was a great addition to my team. This is also the tower my skin is on, so I really started watching the daily shop from now on, hoping the Propeller's Ranger skin would appear. It did not for day 22. The patch that nerfed Corso Strat had also patched the double modifier problem with Pizza Party, so with my new tower equipped, I decided to run it back. Without that glitch buffing all the zombies, things were way easier. My team and I blitzed through the wave 30 zombies that ended my prior runs, and I was able to contribute to the DPS more with Ranger, and for the first time, I reached the final wave. The Fallen King is replaced with Walks the Fox, who has a pretty reasonable amount of health, and a jump scare ability, which isn't that scary to be fair. He debuffed our tower's range, that's what all these sad ghosts signify, but other than that, all he could really do was stun our towers. And with the raw strength of all our DPS, we were able to defeat him. Actually, me as F. The rewards for winning were solid, and this also unlocked a new tower. Kind of, not really. The Warden is a special tower you earn from winning on this game mode, but unlike say Badlands and the Cowboy, you don't get Warden for free. Winning only gives you the ability to buy it for 4,000 coins, which I did not have. But hey, I was still glad to get the mode checked off the list. During the process, I also completed my weekly quest and earned a free premium crate. There are so many cool skins I could potentially get from this with Ranger now unlocked. And I got a stupid scout skin I never used once. That's gambling for you. I want to tackle Badlands next. I'd been holding off until I got Ranger, but with my new loadout I felt confident-ish. I also got my first skin for the Ranger from a basic crate. In my first match, my whole team instantly left, so I just played out the loss, I snagged 200 coins, and then hopped in a fresh match. But with scouts acting as a big part of our early defense, I wasn't confident in the slightest. My teammate's strategy of just spamming a ton of militants and minigunners worked longer than I thought it would, but wave 30 was too difficult with the 3 tanks spawning. The mid lane zombie ran right through us and ended the attempt. 600 coins though. I hit the jackpot with the next run. We had a full team, Commander plus DJ, Rangers, Minis, and even an Accelerator. Me and Pickle Pie defended early with shotgunners, and ASC got his first Accelerator by wave 10. From there, I mean the run can really be described with 2 words. The tanks that ended the prior run got smoked here. We cruised through the 30s, but I was still nervous for the final wave. I kind of hinted to my teammates that they should use some power-ups. Spoiler alert, they didn't, but I had my own. I popped the fire rate buff flag alongside my only damage buff flag when the gunslinger boss appeared. And, oh yeah, the boss. This guy has 600k health and some quirky abilities, like he can shoot you. Things looked good initially, but his minion zombies, his cavalry, were pushing just way too far. And with the boss itself still having over 50% HP, I made a big play and used my last blizzard bomb, which was clutch. The frost stalled out both sets of cavalry. I moved towers as the boss approached our base, and as the gunslinger used one final ability, he kicked the bucket. I did record my live reaction, although I forgot to load the game audio, so this is all I have. Never know. That was another mode checked off, and on top of the EXP and coins, I also unlocked the Cowboy Tower, an iconic, pretty fun unit that acts as a hybrid of DPS and eco by generating money as it attacks. Although, I'll be honest, I really did not end up using him a whole lot. I thought he would be a game changer, but I kinda just stuck with farm. Regardless, I was still happy with that dub. After losing that run way back on day 5, I hadn't touched intermediate mode since. I admit I don't love this mode, but I knew I had to complete eventually, so I got in game with a team of freakishly tall players. They really made me look like a little dude, and we reached the last wave comfortably. The final boss is Patient Zero, who is actually a really cool boss.
If you want to know how to meet, then watch this video.
We kind of had to clutch up here. I ended up popping a fire rate flag to make sure we got a dub. I earned a badge and checked intermediate mode off the list. Unfortunately, unlike the other main modes, you don't get any bonus EXP for your first win. Funnily enough, I ended up on the exact same map for my next run, although this time we did Fallen. My teammate was initially skeptical of our chances, but in the end we did triumph. Just before ending the day, I actually ran into someone in the lobby, Pentagonal. I personally don't know them, but they're apparently one of TDS's contributors, which is neat. I tried to strike up some conversation here, and unfortunately he left. I claimed my quest reward and followed suit to end the day. I just played a few matches here. I lost a Pizza Party run in Wave 32, and I won an intermediate match. I didn't do anything this day. I also didn't do anything this day, although my daily reward brought my coin count up to just over 6,000. In other news, I think I played some 9 Souls this day. I love that game. I knew I had to lock in here. I still had to reach level 50 so I could access and beat Hardcore mode and also beat Polluted Wastelands, and somehow grind enough gems to buy the Accelerator with 3 days left. I decided to focus on my level first. I was at 45. Gaining 5 more levels doesn't sound too bad, but EXP requirements increase exponentially per level, and I was at the point where I needed multiple wins for a single increase. I decided to grind out some Pizza Party games. I won 4 of 5 matches. I also completed a quest along the way, all of which brought me up to only level 48. I decided to wait to grind until the next day, so I could get some fresh quests, and also so I could play more 9 Souls. Alright, I'ma be honest. More happened in days 29 and 30 than like almost the rest of the video combined. It's crazy. I just about lost my marbles on the final days of this challenge. Things got rough. Before everything else, I still had to hit level 50 though. Along the way, I decided to finally go and be easy mode, which really I could have done at any point prior, you know it's easy. I put to use my time scale tickets I'd obtained over the prior weeks. I didn't mention these when I got them, but basically, they just let you change the game speed. Easy is so free that even with the engine running on double speed, I had absolutely no problems taking out the boss, the Gravedigger, and getting a win in about 5 minutes. Also, I forgot to mention I got a new skin, which was pretty based. I was able to claim EXP from the badge reward, and after that I decided to spend my other timescale tickets and speed through 2 Molten matches so I could complete a quest. I also met another celebrity. I mean, you guys know I know John Roblox, right? Well, if you didn't, here's us chilling in the lobby. Yeah. I played one more full Pizza Party match, and then to get the last of the EXP, I just farmed a solo loss, which finally brought me up to level 50. I received the turret tower as a reward, which is another very solid DPS option, and crucial for what I was about to attempt. Now, I could finally play Hardcore mode, and I could finally access the level locked Accelerator. However, alongside the EXP requirement, this tower has a hefty price tag of 2,500 gems, not coins, and you can only get gems by playing Hardcore. I plan to play all of my Hardcore matches with a strategy guide, Lucille Strat. This is the easiest and most popular Hardcore strategy. The strategy can require a bunch of different towers, but luckily, I had just enough coins to be able to buy all of them. And Hunter, I bought Hunter too. All I had to do next was find some teammates, which was incredibly hard. I server hopped so many times, spammed the chat over and over, and I never seemed to find anyone else doing the strat, which is crazy because I feel like when I'm just casually playing, I always see people wanting to do Lucille. I spent literally a full hour trying to find some teammates. A full hour in the lobby. I also met my fair share of interesting people along the way. This guy might need to go on the list. This guy also probably needs to go on the list. This guy said, "Spam and you're gay." During Pride Month nonetheless. I also had a few unlucky encounters with potential teammates. Fairly early on, I did meet one person who wanted to do the strat, Alan, but after spending 5.5 minutes in the same server and finding no third, I left for a new lobby, which was a bad move in retrospect. A bit later, I also met this person Noika, who wanted to do the strategy, and for the only time this entire day, I disconnected. 50 minutes into the recording, I finally found another teammate, Gameplay Robo 29, whose avatar never loaded for me. He was just a gray guy the whole time. And then, miracle of miracles, we got the third teammate, Gab. So with all their player roles assigned, I was player 2, we just had to wait for the map we need to spawn in, Crossroads. But then like 2 seconds later, Gab was like, "My friend has Golden Pyromancer, Robo doesn't, let's replace him." I mean, you can't argue with the logic, but I didn't feel like I could just ditch Robo like that, so I said so. Gab was like, "I'll leave then." I said, "Okay, bye." Luckily, this dude, Ty, pulled up pretty quickly afterwards. However, as we waited for the map, it became apparent that Ty was not going to be very reliable. We finally did get the map. Ty was spending some wisdom in the elevator. Life is of TDS. The match was a disaster. For one, Robo forgot to switch his minigunner out for Ranger, and then Ty was there just going with the flow and not following the strategy. I slowed my defense so we'd lose faster, and I friended Robo. It was actually my first friend of this whole challenge. We rejoined the lobby together, and after 6 more minutes of waiting, we recruited this guy, Sonic, as our third teammate. Once we got in game, things were looking good. We were all doing the strategy correctly. Robo disconnected. Yep, that's that. He never ended up coming back. So now me and Sonic added each other and again searched for a new third. We met this guy, Rice Seller, who agreed to be our player 1. However, the theme of the day of things going horribly wrong continued here. The way the strategy worked was, we were supposed to skip waves 19 and 20 quickly, so I would get enough money for a turret, which in conjunction with player 1's militants, would deal just enough damage to kill this really bulky Mega Slow, but for some reason we just didn't do enough damage. We used the restart button and tried again. I took extra care with my farming, got the turret ASAP, and we lost again. Rice told me I needed to get my turret sooner, so I was like, okay, I guess. I didn't really know how I was going to make more money, but I tried. The next run we lost on wave 17 before the boss, from a mistake Rice said he knew he made. The next attempt he told me, you have to farm. I was like, yeah, I know little bro. I was starting to get a bit irritated. We need turret. Turret? I was so desperate not to lose again, I sold farms to be able to get the turret a wave early. Rice was like, oh, thank God. And we still lost. At this point, we were all confused. I watched an example video of the run, where I missed something I should have picked up on, where I also noticed that in this winning example run, the turret didn't even go down until 21. So in the next match, when I again sold farms to be able to get turret early by wave 20, and we still lost for the 5th time in a row, I knew it was my fault. Rice said, you know, it's not me either. Sonic was chillin', he didn't say much, but I was pretty sure he was doing his part correctly. We all talked briefly, agreed that things weren't working, friended each other, and parted on good terms to end the day. Later on, I went back to review the footage to see what exactly had went wrong. This is where I realized Rice Seller was doing the strategy completely wrong. He was getting the wrong amount of defense, he farmed completely wrong. The reason the boss leaked so easily is because he didn't upgrade his militants to level 2. I could have farmed like a pro. I could have farmed like the farmer monkey from BTD 6. I could have mortgaged my house to put more money into those wheat plants and it wouldn't have mattered. I'd be on the street for nothing. Okay, rant over. No hate at all to Rice, it's not a big deal, it's not that deep. I just wanted to do that bit because I thought it was funny. If I was a bit more observant, I could have helped prevent that too, so it is partially my fault as well. After that roller coaster of a day, I went to bed with no hardcore wins, 128 gems to my name, and almost no time left. I needed to get the Accelerator today, so that I would have all of the file day to attempt Polluted Wastelands with the Hardcore Tower, which meant I needed to grind hard. Winning Hardcore gives you 300 gems. When I used Lucille's strategy, it took me about 40 minutes per win. 8 wins would give me enough gems for the tower. That meant in theory it should have taken about 5.5 hours of grinding to get the Accelerator. That's a long time, but not completely outrageous. Unfortunately, things did not go to plan. Firstly, I knew I had to take a different approach to matchmaking. Trying to find teammates in the lobby just wouldn't cut it. So I turned to the dreaded TDS Discord party queue channel. Basically, this is the area where people put out messages looking for teammates for strategies, like Lucille. The reason I didn't do this originally is because I didn't want to message people as propellers, and I also didn't want to go through the trouble of making an alternate Discord account, because that's annoying. So I decided to compromise and go undercover. I changed my profile and became Goofy Prop 2, a TDS OG who loves Skibbity Toilet. I also couldn't host my own lobby because the red content creator role would give me away, so I had to try to DM people who were hosting, which is a nightmare. You have 10 other adrenaline-fueled TDS sweats also sending messages the exact nanosecond a host sends their lobby. This gets especially fun if, like me, you spend all day doing this. Discord begins to think you're a robot, and it starts making you do these ridiculous human verification puzzles. Like, what the hell do you mean? Pick whichever one doesn't have a pair? What? It's the cabbage, by the way. With all that said, let's go through the games here. Game 1, I actually just randomly found a team in the lobby, which was nice. I think this was the longest it took to get the Crossroads map. We had to wait literally 10 minutes and 44 seconds for it to spawn. My voice is really starting to strain here. I took the role of player 1 here, and with all of us doing the strategy correctly, I got my first win. Yeah, I'm not gonna go through all the gameplay details, it's a strat doc, come on. This first win awarded me a deluxe crate, which I decided to open before I continued because I really wanted the Gun Gale skin for Ranger, as I'd still not seen the propeller skin appear in the daily shop at all. Give me Gun Gale Ranger, come on, just give me the Gun Gale, please. Okay, I guess. It's not a very exciting reaction, it's not a very exciting skin. Game 2 went smoothly, I won and got the gems. I played game 3 with the same teammates, except we lost, because our player 2 missed an extremely important medic heal here, which was frustrating because that 5,000 health difference cost me 180 gems, and the team broke up after that. Game 4 was scarily close, but we did clutch up and win. In Game 5, my teammate Banana and I had some light discussion about underground rap. He was not feeling the Nutspin chicken nuggets, and we lost, because I was player 2 and missed an extremely important medic heal here. I friended Banana, he was chill, and I only noticed going back now, but for some reason, I only got 100 gems for losing here, even though a loss in the exact same wave earlier gave me 120. On the topic of rewards, I'll also mention that these bonus rewards that show on the end screen, the power upgrades and stuff, are a lie. The game never gave them to me. So that's fun. Speaking of bugs, Game 6 was a much needed return to form. I was with a new team and we got the dub. But then, I encountered a glitch. It's patched now, but I believe the way the bug worked was, if you left the match too early, like within a minute of winning or something, there's a chance you wouldn't get your gems. I didn't know this at the time, so I just left right away. Returned to the lobby and saw that my gem count hadn't increased. This is honestly an inexcusable bug, like this gets me heated. It's kind of shocking that it took the dev team over 2 weeks to patch that. In the moment, it was just so incredibly draining, on the day where I was already pressed for time, to have just spent 40 minutes for nothing. Still, I was committed. I ran it back with the same team for Game 7, we won, and thankfully this time I did get the gems. I got a new team for Game 8, we won. I farmed a few solo losses in between matches to get a couple extra gems, but then Game 9 was a disaster. Me and my teammate Taggers played normally, but our player 2 here farmed wrong. He didn't get his turret when he should have, so we lost. I literally know this because I played this role multiple times before, and then he blamed me and Tagger for not skipping fast enough, when that literally makes no difference at all in the situation. That's not our fault. I know it isn't. Y'all just don't skip fast enough. After everything else that happened this day, this made me genuinely angry. I kinda laid into him and that ended the group. I'm out, bro. Blah blah, blaming everything on me. I do admit he has a point there, I did blame everything on him. And I stand on that, because it's objectively his fault. Me and Tagger decided to stick and look for a new third. We got an Among Us character as a teammate, but Game 10 was another failure. We ended up losing on wave 45, I don't even really know how. And I lost again in Game 11. The Void Reaver killed us with 12,000 health. Still, I played enough matches that by farming a few more solo losses, I brought my gem count 1 win shy of Excel. For Game 12, I ended up playing with this dude, Your Local Bacon, who funnily enough I had played in one match with 11 hours earlier, and with Wraith as our third player, I got the final win I needed. I waited for an extra long time post-match to make sure the gems wouldn't bug out and disappear, and I rejoined the lobby to finally buy the tower. You can hear in my live commentary here, I was just totally burnt out. There it is, 2,500 hard-earned gems. And the Accelerator is mine. There it is, the Accelerator has been obtained. He's such a silly little guy. Also gained 7 levels in the process and 1,000 coins. I'm so done. In total, on day 30 alone, I spent 10.5 hours grinding. If you're not gonna subscribe and leave a like for that, I don't know what more I can do at this point. It was not fun in the slightest, it was definitely unhealthy, and it was extremely stressful. Alright, yeah, whatever, final day. This day wasn't exactly stress-free, but I felt a lot lighter with the Accelerator purchased. Death Note reference? I now just have to conquer the final game mode, Polluted Wastelands. This is the hardest of the special modes, which is why I'd want to wait until I got Accelerator before attempting it. I wasn't above potentially using a strategy guide to beat it, but before that I wanted to try at least a couple of natural runs, and just see how far I could get with random teammates. Before that, I opened the last crates I've been saving. I got the blue minigun from a basic crate, the Vigilante shotgunner from a Vigilante crate, which I did from a quest I completed while grinding, and I also had a party crate because day 30 was actually the same day as TDS's anniversary, and the devs released a code for a free party crate. I only had 2 skin options, and Thankfully, I got the far better of the two, the party minigunner. I equipped my skins and got into my first polluted match. One of my teammates had Commando, which is an extremely rare tower to see nowadays, but no one else had Accelerator, unfortunately. We pushed as hard as we could, we made it all the way to A40, but we suffered an unfortunate loss to the nuclear monster boss. Wait, that rhymes. Wow. We took him down to 100,000 health, but just couldn't close it out. The next match was a wash, we lost almost immediately, and I decided to do one more attempt before switching to a strategy document. Before this run, I blew all of my leftover coins and more power-ups. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I did not get every shop tower, that kind of went out the window. I equipped them, and joining the game, I met one final celebrity, Freddy Fazbear himself, and a guy called Hot Dog Muncher, who was honestly cooler. I felt very good about this run, since every single one of us had Accelerator. We easily made wave 40, although we were notably lacking any splash damage, which made this horde of nuclear guardians a lot more threatening. So, I finally dropped the nuke I'd obtained all the way back on day 17. It dealt 50,000 damage all around, decimating the summons, and we soon began focusing all our DPS on the nuclear monster. I used a UAV for the range, although I was now out of power-ups. One of my teammates had the damage buff flag, and we shredded the boss and pulled out the dub. He died pretty early on actually, so I guess the nuke wasn't really necessary after all. But with that win, I'd officially beaten every single mode in the game. I got the badge, claimed the free premium crate, and got a really cool skin in... Oh no, sorry I didn't. Because during this time period, the badge was broken. No one could get it or the free premium crate. They actually fixed that bug, and the bug with the hardcore gems not working, literally the day after I finished the challenge. And they also released a clown skin, so make of that what you will. At the end of day 31, there was still one more thing I had to see, the propeller skin. I had vigilantly checked the daily shop every day since acquiring Ranger, and it had not showed up so far. This rotation was going to be my last shot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And it is not there. What an anticlimax, dude. I don't think it showed up one day throughout the entire month. I wrote down the skins for every day throughout the month, and yeah, it was never there. Unless it appeared in one of the 3 days I forgot to record the skins, I guess. That would be really unlucky. Regardless, that officially ended the challenge. And now, it's time for the stats. Okay, but first of all... Listen, my daily streak was at 6 on day 31. I wasn't gonna just let that premium crate go to waste, so I logged in the next day to collect it and actually have the final moment of the challenge. I opened it for the Helldiver Soldier, which I don't really care about, to be honest, sorry. So yeah, okay, for real. Overall, I ended at level 59 with 39 triumphs and 54 deaths. I got 1 name tag, 19 towers, and 15 skins. I ended with 9 gems, 85 coins, 3 time skill tickets, and a couple of assorted power-ups left over. I recorded 360 gigabytes of footage with a total runtime of 35 hours, 10 minutes, and 39 seconds, not counting footage for edits and stuff. I accomplished 3 of my goals. I did not end up buying every coin shop tower, I did not even attempt that, and I didn't get my own skin, although there wasn't really anything I could have done about that. I ended with 6 Roblox friends, 8 Roblox followers, cause I think a few people realized this was me, and a lot of drip. So yeah, this was an extremely difficult video to make. I have never written a script this long. Actually I have, but I didn't release the video from that. I've never edited a video this long. I mean, I still haven't as I say this. That's a job for my future self. Good work, future self. If you're here, you really killed it. From here, I think the next logical step is either 100 hours or 100 days. But either of those would absolutely suck to make. If you really want to see that, 31,000 likes and I'll do it. 1,000 likes for every day of the month. I don't think I've even gotten close to that number before, so yeah, this video would have to go pretty viral, but if you want the next one, that's the goal. And yeah, that's it. Watch some of my other videos, they're cool too. Bye bye. Oh my god, I need a drink of water. I just talked for an hour and a half straight.